Hey there, everyone. Welcome to the Bird's Nest Podcast. I'm Jude. Thank you so much for joining us. We are here at the Philadelphia Museum of Art. We are here actually at the Tom Grossi 30 and 30 event. We're in line just kind of hanging out, waiting to say hey to him. I'm sure we'll have some questions for him once we get up to the front. But I'm here with a bunch of Eagles fans who've come from all over, and I'm going to let them introduce themselves here to you. So let's start up here.
Hey, my name's Sean, living in Denver, but always been a Birds fan. Woo!
Hi, my name is Mike. I live in Cherry Hill, New Jersey, and I wish I wore an Eagles jersey today, but I didn't.
Hi, I'm Snay, and I'm from Philly. Go Birds.
Go Birds. All right, yeah. So we're just hanging out here. So guys, what are your thoughts about this offseason so far?
I'm really excited about the moves that we've made. Definitely excited about the new offensive scheme that we're going to be getting into this year. I think it's going to be really exciting for our quarterback. A lot of really good draft picks this year as well that I think are going to supplement the team in a really, really good way. Yeah. And I think Howie, as always, making great moves, always making those phone calls, making things happen. So really excited to see how that all pans out this season.
For sure.
So far, I really have liked this stuff. I know a lot of people were, they were not too happy. Originally, some were mixed reviews about our new offense coordinator, but even because he hasn't played card yet. But I'm giving him a chance because this guy has learned under some of the best offensive minds, and he's already making some really good headway. Like, a lot of the players are liking him, so I'm excited to see, and hopefully we get Jalen Hurts prime back from 2022 when he was MVP runner-up.
For sure.
I'm excited about the offense, and I feel like Jalen Hurts' MVP season is loading. Mark my words.
Sure. Yeah, I do think that definitely the offense had a lot of opportunity, probably the most opportunity for improvement over the course of this offseason. We are still a couple weeks removed from the big A.J. Brown trade. How are we all feeling? What was everybody's reactions to that? What were your all thoughts?
I feel like the vibes are up. The vibes are up, The drama's gone, and I feel like everybody's in that collective goal about winning, and we're going to win.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And to be perfectly fair, I was sad initially to let him go, and while he did initially leave on good terms, I would say I'm not too happy anymore, but I'm looking forward to it, and I'm glad how everything is progressing so far. So, yeah, I'm just... It sucks, but hey, he's honestly only got a little bit left on this prime.
And yeah, it always is a shame to see a player of that caliber leave your team. But at the same time, you do want everybody bought in to that system. And one of the things that I was really struggling with last season was watching A.J. Brown just give up on plays, balls where he was wide open, Hurts got it to him, and he just wasn't paying attention. So as much as it hurts to see someone like that go, I think that the team is going to be better off in total. And screw the doubters. I think Devontae Smith is going to make an excellent wide receiver one. I think people underestimate him quite a bit, and I'm excited to see him shine in this offense.
About him.
Oh yeah, Devontae Smith.
He is going to have an all-pro season.
I think so too. Devontae Smith showed up last season. He was doing insane last season. He was more like the wide receiver one last season. So yeah, I think Devontae's going to have a breakout year, and I'm looking forward to Mekhi Lemon as well to see how it is. But people have talked about another YouTuber I watched, Betchwoman Brand, has literally said that that the Eagles, how the heck did they get Mekhi Lemon? They got lucky there. Like, they can't.
Howie, that's how.
Yeah. Howie.
Stole him in the draft right from underneath the Pittsburgh nose. Literally.
And mind you, the Steelers don't even blame us. They blame the Cowboys for what the hell did you let him? Why the hell did you get the draft pick?
And the Cowboys helped us. Isn't that amazing? See, Jerry Jones loves us.
No, he still hates us.
He loves us. He helps us win. He helps us.
I would point out that when the Eagles traded, or when the Cowboys traded Micah Parsons to the Green Bay Packers, there was basically a death clause in there where if he made his way back to the NFC East, he couldn't go to any team in the NFC East, or the Cowboys would get some penalty picks from the Green Bay Packers. So
and what's even more?
That's a small little sliver of hope. But I wouldn't give him that.
Oh,
at
wait,
all.
no, there's
Like,
also the other thing. Apparently, not only did the Eagles offer to go for Michael Parsons, but Jerry Jones shot it down because he didn't want to trade him. But here's the other thing. He stole they're the new defensive coordinator. He was supposed to be our future defensive coordinator. I was going to take, he was supposed to take over Kevin Petullo's job. Or, not
Fangio.
Vic
But
Fangio's
did
job.
not
I don't know why Kevin Petullo.
Yeah.
Vic Fangio, but then they stole it from us. And when we tried to get their offensive coordinator, because the OC was actually good, literally, Jerry Jones prevented it because he doesn't like the Eagles.
I mean, he did get Kellen Moore.
Yeah, well, no, I'm talking about this year, during this offseason.
Last year.
Yeah.
I mean, the previous.
Well, he wasn't on the Cowboys. He was on the Chargers.
Yeah. But
Yeah, he spent a lot of time with the Chargers,
But
with the Cowboys, but yeah, the Chargers were the team that he came immediately. Yep, I agree.
It still was from the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Jerry Jones
Via
loves
another
us.
team, but yeah.
Yeah. Jerry Jones loves us. That's all.
So speaking of the Eagles defense, how are y'all feeling about the defense this year? We're going into the third year of this Vic Fangio defense. We got a lot of returning players on this defense as well.
And some new ones.
I was going to say, and some new additions as well. Got Reek Woolen coming in that secondary. I'm guessing that we're going to have a top 3 secondary this season.
Oh, not just that, and I see I put him with a Brandon Brennan shirt. But the big thing that also might be it. But yeah, I'm looking forward to a lot of the new players. There's also, I know it's a rumor right now, but there's talks of we possibly might try to go for Max Crosby.
Yeah.
Getting that. If we get that, I would be even more happy.
Do we really need him? We got James Carter and, all the good guys, but
I mean,
I'm excited about.
I mean, I would, but because I would like to have him, especially because
I'm excited about.
just to counteract the Rams having Myles Garrett now.
Right.
Oh yeah. Maybe
Yeah.
that's why.
Yeah, I
feel very confident with who we have right now.
for sure. Yeah, I do think that we need additional depth at the edge rusher position. So I think that is a place where Max Crosby could really help us out. But yeah, I mean the defense is probably again the most stable portion of this, and they're only going to get better, and they're definitely really young, so they've got all that athleticism.
So I am glad that Dexter Lawrence is no longer in our division either, because that actually was a problem.
Yeah, for sure. And I think, too, hopefully the offense picks up their game this year, because I think part of the struggle last year was the fact that we were anticipating that the defense was going to pick up the slack that the offense wasn't able to accomplish. So hopefully this season there's more complementary football going on. Hopefully we're going to have an offense that's actually producing points, so that way we're not putting as much pressure on our defense, and then we can really let these guys loose and start playing their game the way that they want.
Yeah, and to be fair, the defense did do a really good job last season of picking up a lot of that slack, right?
Considering what was
you
happening,
look at all the teams that we played in the NFC North, and like how many of them were won by like maybe 3-point stops, right? Like you have that situation happen. Eagles! Again, we're still hanging out here in this line waiting for Tom Grossi. But yeah, I do agree with you that that like the Eagles defense had a lot of pressure put on them, and they rose to the challenge for the most part, but there's only so much that you can expect from the defense in that situation. If your offense is not producing, the defense can only protect you so much.
Exactly.
And they did, they did pick up the slack for most of the games, and we were just stumbling our way through whatever was going on in the offense. I don't know. I feel like Max Crosby, I don't know about that. I would rather go for Josh Sweat again back in Philly. I would do that.
I mean, if you get the opportunity, though, to bring a generational talent into your team, you take that opportunity, I feel like, no matter what it's going to take.
Oh, and also,
But
it would relieve stress on Carter.
Give up a lot. We'll have to give up.
At least on first round.
Yeah, we'll have to give up a lot for Max Crosby. I don't think that's because they tried for Myles Garrett too, and they were asking for Carter. Do you really?
And a lot of teams probably will, right?
And that's why I'm like, we got Carter. We're not losing him. We're not letting him go. So,
Well, that's the reason why. But that's the thing.
Oh, there's no one around the corner.
Grossi! Yep. That's fair.
I'll see you guys later. What a guy.
But I
How
will
does he
say,
have so much energy?
here's the reason why I say
30 seasons, 30
the reason
days.
why I actually do want Max Crosby because
Every day.
the reason why I say Max Crosby would be beneficial because you talked about Jalen Carter. If we get Max Crosby, that will alleviate a lot of pressure on Jalen Carter because Carter's our focus of our defense.
Yeah. And
And the problem is that teams know that, so they double team him a lot.
Yeah.
If you have Max Crosby, but if you have
and Jalen Carter,
we would be
then,
unstoppable.
oh, okay, like yeah, exactly.
No, we're not gonna give up
But-
Jalen Carter.
But that's the thing. Like, who wants to give up Jalen Carter? Nobody.
Yeah.
But they're asking for that. They're not gonna give us Max Crosby.
I don't
for
think.
nothing.
No, we might get him if we give him 2 first rounders.
A 2 first.
Well, here's the thing: we could get them 2028.
I don't know
we
if
could
that's
get
gonna happen.
Well, we could give it next year's first round
Next
pick,
year.
and also the 2028 draft pick we got, where we might be getting from the
AJ Brown.
for the Patriots.
If that's the case, maybe. But I would not give up Jalen Carter. That's,
No.
That's like a no for me.
No,
That's an absolute no.
well,
Because JD and JC, they make like the, like the Philly Eagles defense what it is. Zach Bond too. But I would love to have Max Crosby, not like against it. I would love to, see what he does. Hopefully not giving up Jalen Carter.
Yeah.
That's all I would say.
I mean,
don't want to.
It begs the question, though,
Yeah.
with Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis in the middle of your defense. You talk about Jalen Carter taking a lot of double teams, but then Jordan Davis had a breakout season last year. He got his bag. He has his contract. And I think that he's only going to continue to develop further and further. So you've got 2 dominant players in the center of that defensive line. If they can bring the pressure there, is that going to open up the play for our defensive ends right now? Do we even need a player like Max Crosby? Do we have the talent inside of the building surrounding those 2 guys up front to where we can get that pressure off the edge without having to have that star power like a Max Crosby,
Do we
like a
have
Miles Garrett?
guys Like Nolan Smith, is he going to do anything or not? Or Jude, maybe.
Right,
maybe
and I
not.
really
like
hope-
that's what I feel like. There's a little question marks around there, but
and I will say there's one of the players that we did draft that I'm excited for. Not immediately, but it's going to depend on in a few years. Bernard. That's the.
We haven't talked about him at all.
Yeah, everybody's been talking crazy about him. My life was talking about him like he's the most amazing find.
The Nigerian guy who's like, what's he? He's like, he's
Nigerian.
6'4". He's 6'4" and he's
300 something, I think.
300
Over 300 pounds. He's doing defensive drills with bare hands on trees in Africa because he has no other way to train.
6'5", 306 pounds, and he literally ran like a 4 or something.
Yeah.
The guy's gonna become in a few
I'm
years. He's
excited
gonna
to
become
see
like
what
one of the best.
It's just gonna take a lot of patience. He's a
going to be my
freak
lad 2.0.
athlete, and I think that the Eagles did him a great service bringing him into this program because I think he ends up with any other team. I don't think they have the patience that the Eagles will have with Uar Bernard.
Jordan Manata, for instance. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. He came into the league and he was nearly a nobody. Like he wasn't performing at all when he first came over and started practicing with the team. And now he's an all-pro and might go down as one of the best to play.
Same thing with Uar Bernard. He might be the same thing eventually, especially with our. We'll see who's going to replace our defense because, like I said, the Cowboys stole our future defensive coordinator. And to the couch of Tylers, as they call themselves, yeah, you guys didn't save him. You stole it from us, and the only reason why Jerry Jones hired you is because Jerry Jones is a senile old man who doesn't want to remember so many names, so he hired a bunch of people named Tyler.
Hey. We got what we needed out of Christian Parker, though, I would say. He set up Cooper DeJean and Quinyon Mitchell to be dominant corners in this league for a long time. So I think, as much as I would have loved him to have as a defensive coordinator, I think we got what we needed out of him.
He was supposed to be this year, but the Cowboys stole him from us before we had him.
Yeah.
But
Vic's got a good
Fangio is
couple
not
years in him.
leaving. That's why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He said he's got at least 2 more years in him.
Yes.
I'll give him those and
I'll
maybe
give him
more.
those,
Who
yeah,
knows?
exactly.
If he
De-aging, right?
I'm
What he
just-
keeps saying.
I'm just hoping that in that time he has another protege that he could train up to replace him, and that I hope he doesn't get stolen.
Yeah.
I think I want to revisit the UR Bernard thing too, because I think the Eagles learned, I'm sure, a lot from bringing Jordan Mailata in through the International Player Pathway Program. I really think that they learned a lot from that, and so they, we should probably move up the line. I think the Eagles learned a lot from that, and the fact that the Eagles have a dedicated scout for that program really tells us just how much of effort they put in to find these guys that are really going to make impacts on the team, that have play potential to be really star power on the football field, even if they're maybe not somebody who has ever played football a day in their life, like Jordan Mailata, like UR Bernard. So I do like your point there, Sean, about how the fact, like, if UR didn't land on the Philadelphia Eagles, the other teams might not have as much patience for him. So, for sure. Let's talk about that the Eagles offensive coordinator, because we have a new Eagles offensive coordinator. How are we thinking when it comes to him and to the things that he could be bringing to the table?
Yeah, I think obviously there are going to be growing pains with the new offense. You're trying to implement an entirely new system in one offseason. It's going to take a lot of work from our players, but I'm super excited. Starting to delve into that Shanahan, McVay system, I think is going to work extremely well. You see a quarterback like Hurts, who may have struggled in certain offenses. I think the timing that comes along with being in that offense, guys needing to be in the right place at the right time, I think Hurts has the ability to understand where those guys are going to be. I think it's going to help his game quite a bit. So that way he has to focus less on figuring out who's open and where they're going to be. He's going to know where they're going to be. He can look to see if they're open, and if they're not, I think that's going to allow him to start working through his progressions a lot easier. And I also like the prospect of having some of our guys coming out of the backfield, having Saquon, having Tank Bigsby, who came into our program last year but didn't really get showcased. I think starting to get those guys involved in the passing game is really going to open things up. Also, you've got RPOs within this system that I think are really going to be able to open up the offense a lot more too. Defenses are going to have to guess whether or not you are handing that ball off to Saquon Barkley, or if you are just faking that, pulling the ball back and unloading it to a guy like Devontae Smith, who's going to open downfield. You've got Mekhi Lemon, who's going to be able to really dominate in the middle of the field. So I'm super excited. Really have to just get over some of those growing pains. Us here in Philly, we're always a little bit quick to judge, a little bit quick to start running people out of the city with our pitchforks and torches. But if we can all stay patient this season, I think it's really going to do wonders for us.
I agree. It's going to take some time. It might take a little bit, maybe a year or two, but I think it's going to pay off for him, because many people were upset because this is another coach who hasn't play called at all before. But here's the thing about him. Sean Mannion is actually, not only has he helped improve both Jordan Love and Will Levis, I think it was.
Malik Willis,
and made them actually really good. But he's learned under so many people, like Matt, like I said, Matt LaFleur. He was on the coaching staff the Packers. He's also learned under Sean McVay, Kevin O'Connell, and Dave Canales even. And he's also learned for Kubiak, I'm pretty sure as well, where he was specifically, he wasn't a coach at the time, he was a skilled quarterback, but he knows Kubiak's playbook and stuff. So, and like I said, Kubiak's new head coach of the Raiders, who was the offensive coordinator for the Seahawks, who just won the Super Bowl. So I honestly think he's going to turn out to be really good, and in a few years, he might be one of the best OCs. And I'm glad, because he's going to stay, because he's young. He's going to stay with us for a few years.
Fingers crossed.
The hope is definitely there.
I'm pretty sure we hired him for a few years. I don't think they're going to offer him a head coaching job like the other ones have right away.
Right. It all depends, though, on the team's success.
And he's gonna leave. That's what's gonna happen. This is our Super Bowl year.
No. Here's what's gonna happen. We win the Super Bowl. We're gonna get rid of Sirianni and put him as the coach?
No.
I don't think you do
that's
that.
not happening.
Why?
Why? Because I think Nick Sirianni.
Well, like even though he doesn't call plays, he's good with keeping people level-headed. Like he has that, ability to bring people together. Even though AJ was screaming in his face, like I'm gonna ask for a trade, he still was calm and collected and everything. Like the Niners game, and I don't think he needs to leave. Like I like him. He keeps us together, you know. But about the offense, I'm excited seeing them, train and everything. I'm excited to see Jalen Hurts under center a lot. I'm excited to see what he does with Smitty as wide receiver 1, and also excited to see Tank Bixby do something magical. I'm hoping it's going to be AJ left and it was like a massive hit.
Cutting the dead weight almost.
Yeah.
That's what you're hoping.
But I'm hoping it's going to be like an explosive year and Jalen Hurts is going to be MVP.
Yeah.
My words.
I hope he proves all the haters wrong.
He
That's
will.
for sure.
He
Yeah.
will, 100%. I do not like how people talk about him, like these sports media people, like fuck you guys, and I want him to have that glory, even though he did have that after like the Super Bowl win. People started doubting him again. People started like saying shit about him. He doesn't throw, he doesn't do this, doesn't do that.
Well, of course they can't, because the media has hated Jalen Hurts since he got benched for Tua in college.
And look what Tua did. Look what happened to him.
Well,
Look where he is.
Well, to be fair, in the case of Tua, I feel like that's more so. I think he could have been. I don't think he would have been as successful as Jalen has been, but I think he could have been good. It's just that with the Dolphins, the former head coach kind of was a piece of crap to him and didn't give him much. And then the new one, and then the one who replaced him, literally didn't protect him well enough. He kept putting him out of here, even then when he got concussions. And, well, now he's suffering from CTE. I feel like it's more...
That was their only hope to win. They were struggling so bad.
Yeah, and like I said, that head coach was
like...
a piece of crap who just for some reason really hated Tua for no reason. It didn't help him at all and caused him to just become bad. If it wasn't for him, I think he would still be like he would honestly be a top 10 QB almost.
Yeah, I think he certainly could be. It's just, another example of what happens when you're in a bad system. And I think people don't give Jalen Hurts enough credit for the fact that he has literally had a different system almost every year of his professional career, going all the way back to college, and has still seen success at all stages of the game, including putting up 2 of the best Super Bowl performances that we have ever seen from a quarterback with 2 different coordinators. You can talk about the system all you want and how, you only, won that Super Bowl because of the system that he was in that year, and he's not succeeding in this system, like, blah, blah, whatever. It's like, you could say that about a number of quarterbacks in the league that some of the national media touts as, like, top 5, top 10 quarterbacks, and yet he still doesn't get a lot of the credit that I feel he deserves.
Yeah, there's a...
it's like, Saquon did it, this person did it, that person did it, but then when they lose, it's like, Jalen Hurts wasn't trying.
To be fair, like I said, it's a mixture of that and also people don't like the Eagles.
Yeah, I would say there's so friend of the show Ray Didinger has said, right, like who are the folks that you like, that you really like, who should be in the top? Jalen should be in the top because why? He has done it. He has won the Super Bowl. You can talk about, like, is a quarterback Super Bowl caliber? He absolutely is Super Bowl caliber. They're celebrating right now, something. So Jalen Hurts is Super Bowl caliber, and we know that because he has done it. And logic tells us if it has happened in the past, it can happen in the future. And yes, Jalen Hurts has done that with how many systems he's had in Philadelphia. So I would agree with you guys. Like, Jalen Hurts absolutely deserves much more credit that he's getting. And I think the city of Philadelphia really knows that. I think that all the Eagles fans are giving him all the credit. Sometimes it may take a little bit of effort for people outside of here to see that, for sure.
He's definitely like top 3, and I would say only Patrick Mahomes and
Josh Allen.
Stafford.
Okay, I'm gonna say.
Yeah, I like Stafford a lot, and he's done well. But Joe Burrow, yeah, he's there.
Joe Burrow, honestly,
But
like I said,
he's not top 3 for me.
I would say literally, if I had to choose, honestly, if I had to say the quarterbacks who I would say, who I could say could be better than
Hurts.
they're better than Hurts right now, as in how they're playing. I wouldn't say Mahomes is, because Mahomes has been. Mahomes, I would say him. I would say Mahomes. And Mahomes could be better, but it's hard for me because Mahomes hasn't been doing as well the past few years. He did better last year than he did the previous years, but still, it's like Mahomes has been kind of on a downward side. But the ones who I'd say could still give, could give Hurts a run for his money. Like I said, Burrow, Allen, and Lamar. Those three have put up monumental stats.
Bills have not won against Hurts in the past 2 years, right? We beat them both.
We beat them. We only faced them one time.
No, we faced them last year. We faced them the year before too.
Did we face them last year?
Yeah.
Which team? I'm sorry.
The Bills.
The Bills.
Yeah. In Kelly Greens.
Yes, we did.
Won.
Yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And last year too, we won. So like Josh Allen has not beat Hurts. Joe Burrow has not beat Hurts. Lamar has not beat Hurts.
No. Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow.
Last year.
Yeah, won first last year.
The Super Bowl season.
Yeah.
They didn't do shit last
Mind
year.
Mind you, literally Joe Burrow was also missing didn't have T. Higgins.
Yeah. The Bills, honestly, are the 76ers of NFL football.
That's a great comparison.
The reason why I said,
they can't make it out of the second round.
Right. Built to make the playoffs,
No,
but not
no,
actually
no,
built
no.
to win a championship.
Yeah, no, they can make it out of the second round because
I'm being facetious there with the second round comment.
Right.
But
yeah. No, if any team is like the 76ers right now, it would be the Cowboys
how so?
because they can't make it to the championship game. Meanwhile, the Bills have made it to the championship game.
Yeah, but to be fair though to that comparison, I'm going to defend that comparison, right? It's because at a certain point, the Cowboys don't have the talent to make it out of there. The Bills at least have the talent to try to make it to the Super Bowl and to win, and they just haven't for whatever reason. So
It's because of
yes.
specifically coaching and their defense sucks.
A lot of that. Is there a team on this year's Eagles schedule that concerns you, and why?
No, don't start.
Bears.
I
Only because we lost to them last year and so bad. I feel Ben Johnson will have something cooked up, like a better strategy. Hopefully not.
Okay.
Hopefully not. But that's the only team that scares me. Other than that, nothing.
In terms
scares me.
of teams that I'm actually scared of outside of our division, because I'm not going to go into the divisional game stuff.
Yeah, we're not talking about division.
But in terms
Just
of
any team.
Yeah.
Like
in terms of outside of our division, for the NFC, the Bears, Rams, and Seahawks, because the Bears beat us last year. The Rams
I don't
are the Super
we're
Bowl
scared
favorites.
of the Rams because we beat their ass.
Yes, I know,
Giants.
but literally they approved the two things that they improved on the things that they were missing, and also got Myles Garrett, like I said.
We
And
just got the it factor against them.
Maybe.
We got their number.
Yeah.
You know how the Bucks were for us?
and the Seahawks won
It's
the
like,
Super Bowl.
Oh gosh, we're not gonna beat the Bucks, and we did. But I still feel like we're gonna beat
And
the Rams.
as for the AFC,
JD is going to pick up another one and run the other way.
and the AFC for the AFC, honestly, there's not really any teams I would say I'm afraid of, except for maybe the only one that I might have a fear of on the AFC is kind of the Jaguars, just because they did really well last season until the play, and then they did lose in the playoffs in the first round. But the Jaguars, they did really well last season, surprisingly. And the other team that, as well as the Texans, because they have a really scary defense. And the other team that
But like
I'm
CJ
not as worried about, but I still might have worries depending on what happens, just because of how good they did before the quarterback got injured, in the coach, because literally is the coach, because the coach, up until Daniel Jones got injured, were like the best team in the AFC.
Yeah.
And everyone was going like, what the heck is going on? Why are they so good? So I'm scared. That's the one team where it's like, I have to wait and see how Daniel Jones plays, because if he plays as good as he did before he got injured last year, then I'm thinking like, okay, the coach might can run here.
Yeah.
The best thing for a quarterback, by the way, is to leave one of the teams that plays at MetLife.
Yeah, the only argument I think I would make against the Commanders is the fact that they still have one of the oldest defenses, if not the oldest defense in the league, don't they?
Their defense is older. Their defense and even some of the offensive players are much older.
Yeah.
Like Terry McLaurin's their number one wide receiver, and he's like, I think he's like as older than AJ.
Right. Yeah. But no, I think I would have to agree. Maybe the most scared I am of any team this year is probably the Bears, only because of how young they are. They probably built a lot of confidence last year. Caleb Williams seemed like a man possessed under Ben Johnson, and I think that's only going to continue to grow for them going into this season.
Oh, yeah.
So I would say probably the Bears, if any, if I had to pick a team that I was the most afraid of. Even though Seattle won the Super Bowl last year, they did just lose Kenneth Walker. And
their OC.
And their OC, right?
And OC.
So those things always come into effect. I mean, we saw how that came in with the Eagles. We went from winning the Super Bowl to struggling to make it to the playoffs.
What's I talk about?
The Super Bowl hangover.
Like the Lions.
So
they lost their
I'm not that scared
offensive.
about the Seahawks. I wasn't even last year, to be honest with you. Like, if we were in there, we would have beat their ass, and
Not with Kevin Patel. Not with Kevin Patel.
No, I mean like on a regular day.
Yeah.
Not with Kevin Patel. Like, if we were still in that.
Like to be going back to saying like how losing a coach is, biggest example, the Lions. They were one of the best teams. They were the number one. They were number one. They had the 1 seed and were predicted to win the Super Bowl, and then they got eliminated because of all the injuries. I got eliminated by the Commanders. And then what could happen? They lost both the OC and DC, and they didn't even make it into the playoffs.
Yeah, they lost Ben Johnson to the Bears.
Yeah, so I have a funny feeling.
Look how that worked.
I have a funny feeling. Yeah, I honestly think the Bears are still going to become a threat and going to get better. I don't know if they're going to be, but the Packers are another team. While we don't face them this year,
Packers never scare me.
Packers
never scare me.
Well, I mean, we didn't face. Wait, no.
We don't face them this year.
No, we didn't face them. Did we? Yeah, no, we did beat them last year. Mind you, like I said, the only thing I'm scared about is their defense gets better. Their defense getting better.
They had Michael Parsons and they left.
Well, no, Parsons was injured when we faced him.
Oh, really?
He was hurt. If Michael Parsons is the one player on their defense where I got it.
When did he got the Denver game.
Yeah, he came back in the Denver game.
Yeah.
Or he was injured.
No, he was injured in the Denver game.
Yeah, he got injured after the Denver game. Yeah.
Okay.
Which is,
I was going to say, one more thing. I think the thing I'm most scared about this season is not any specific team on the schedule, but the schedule itself. Like, our schedule this season is rough as far as all the travel that we have to do, the rest days. Like, we have one of the weakest schedules as far as rest days go. I think the Eagles are ranked second to last in rest days this season. So that's one of the things that I'm the most worried about, is just how tired is our team going to be when it comes to recovery time.
Mm-hmm. And I will say this to that point, because I think that the Eagles have really, really well managed the bye over the course of the Nick Sirianni era, right? Like, the Eagles are undefeated after a bye week. So I think that the Eagles, you really know how to come out of that and really know how to capitalize on that time. So I think that is going to continue there. But yeah, it does, especially with the fact that we have to go play the Jaguars in London. I think that's going to be a concern for us. That's the only reason why the Jaguars game concerns me, is because it's in London and it's basically a home game for Jacksonville.
I forgot that it was in London. So yeah, that's another concern.
I would say for me to answer that question. Yeah, I do think that the Seahawks are the concerning team for me, just simply because the Eagles are Northeast efficiency that's happening with this line. We're gonna make it to that World Cup. We're gonna make it that World Cup. We're gonna make it that World Cup team. So to that point again, I'm just gonna say, like, I think that the Seahawks are the team that scares me a little bit, just because of the fact that they're riding the hot hand right now. They are the Super Bowl champions. They're not a team that's going to. They're a team that has caused the Eagles problems historically. Yes, we're going to have the advantage this year because it's at our stadium as opposed to the last time we played them, and it was at Lumen Field. But I do think that the Seahawks are going to be a team that concerns me. I agree with the Bears. I think that the Bears are going to be a force to contend with. But why I'm more concerned about the Seahawks is because by the time we play the Seahawks, there's going to be tape on the Eagles' offense, and there's not going to be enough tape on the Eagles' offense when the Eagles play the Bears. They're going to have a couple weeks, but I think that's probably my concern with that.
And what's even more so, I'm actually going to say this right now. Out of all the teams in the NFC West, the only one that actually had a good draft class was the Seahawks.
Yes.
Literally, everyone always talks about how the Cardinals, the 49ers, and the Rams did not make that many good choices for their draft picks. Mind you, I'm pretty sure the Cardinals are doing the Raiders plan, the drafting of a star running back, so they could get a very high draft pick and draft a quarterback in the future next year.
For sure. We also caught up with Tom and asked about Sean Mannion, the new Eagles offensive coordinator who was the quarterback's coach for the Green Bay Packers.
He's not Kevin Patullo. No, I mean, like, he's being heralded as, like, going to be a future head coach, so I think he's going to do just fine for you guys, which, you know, you guys are used to coordinators being taken from you, and now you're just doing it to us, so the world goes round and round.
We are coming up pretty much to the, we're still going to be hanging out in line, obviously, for a little while, but we're coming up on the amount of time that I think people will want to watch us talk. So, but I think that's one of the fun things about this, right, is, like, we're just hanging out here, and this was a very impromptu setup, right, and I appreciate all three of you for hanging out here and doing this in the middle of this line. What final thoughts do you have about this team as we continue through this deep offseason and we get ready for training camp in July?
I would say whoever's watching, do not talk shit about the Birds. Always talk. We're winning. Always say that we're winning and we're gonna win. That's
Okay.
all there is.
Okay. For anyone, I'm gonna say don't give too much crap already for our new OC. Just wait a few years to see how he pans out. And also, hopefully we do come back. Hopefully, I kind of do wish we get Max Crosby just so we could give a little bit of breathing room for Jalen Carter. But also that go Eagles.
Yeah, really excited about what this season could bring. Very excited about some of the rookies that are coming up, especially Mekhi Lemon. Be patient. I think that as Eagles fans, we are very passionate. We have high expectations. We did just become the first back-to-back division winner in 20 years
Since we did it back in 04-05.
Exactly. So have some patience. I know we're fiery, but big things to come this season from what I anticipate. So
We're winning the Super Bowl. This is our Super Bowl year.
Super Bowl number 3.
Yes.
Super Bowl party number 3.
Yep.
And when we do, we can say to Cowboys, "Oh, you like to talk about your 5 Super Bowls? Well, here's our 6 championships."
Yeah.
Because they like to talk about so much about the past of how many Super Bowls they won. It goes, but when we bring up how many total championships, because we won 3 NFL championships before the merger, before they switched to the Super Bowl, they don't want to hear it. So Cowboy fans who, if you don't count them, you're hypocrites.
And Dallas sucks.
And I would agree. I think there's going to need to be a lot of patience with this Eagles team. Again, we've got another offensive coordinator who has not called plays. I think we need that patience. We need that understanding there. I know that we've had that going on, but I think I would agree with everything. Every single one of you guys have said patience. I would agree 100%. Again, thank you so much much for doing this, and thank you so much to everyone for tuning into the Bird's Nest podcast. You can support the Bird's Nest podcast by liking and subscribing to Bird's Nest Media right here on YouTube, as well as by sharing to your social media pages. You can also find us on SoundCloud, iTunes, Amazon Podcasts, Spotify, the Odyssey app, and iHeartRadio, pretty much anywhere you get your podcasts. Please visit birdsnestmedia.com for additional Eagles and NFL coverage, and if you feel so inclined to support us in a different way, you can find the link to our Patreon in the description below or at birdsnestmedia.com. Thank you so much for tuning in, and let's go Eagles!
Go Birds!
Go Birds!
I go Birds!
Go Birds!